Hey, accountants, it's time to grow your capacity, not your head count. Introducing Bill, the AI-powered exception-based AP solution that automates tedious work and simplifies your tech stack. Whether it's managing domestic or global payments or syncing receipts through deep integration, Bill eliminates manual tasks so your team can focus on strategic client success. Join over 9,000 firms who trust Bill to gain better visibility and control. Get started today at bill.com/grow. Take a demo and you'll get $250 gift card. Terms apply. Tell them Ron sent you.
Oh, I got some juicy news for you. Profit First app version 2.0 is here. With an enhanced user experience and video guidance throughout, you can now be even more confident in your Profit First implementation. Plus, listeners who work with a certified Profit First professional get extra benefits. Check it out now at www.profitfirstapp.com.
Today, right here, right now, this is the moment that you will finally say,
I'm growing my accounting practice, and you're going to discover exactly how right here, right now,
on the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ron Saharian, co-founder of Profit First Professionals.
And I'm Liz Sporn, a guide here at Profit First Professionals.
And I'm Mike Michalowicz, author of Profit First. And guess what? You're listening to GMAP, stands for Grow My Accounting Practice. We are here to teach you the step-by-step on exactly that, how to grow your practice if you're a bookkeeper, if you're an accountant, or a coach.
Awesome, guys. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can find us on any podcatcher out there. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Ron and I had our first call 7 a.m. Eastern time, and we are proud to announce that we have integrated our new licensee, Gino Blau. Femke Hagema started the organization back, I want to say 7 years ago, maybe it's 8, and transitioned to her next chapter in life. She's doing big things in maybe some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, but neuropathology, psychology, bionetworking, all terms, at least that I interpret as how our mind works.
Congrats, Gino. We were just talking about him too. That's exciting.
Yeah. So let's just do our check-in before we bring Sara on the show. Liz, you said you're spicy today. Is this going to be an okay episode, or are you just going to go off the wall?
Guys, I'm going to pull it together. I'll pull it together. We're going to see what happens, but we'll make it work. I can do it. I'll be fine.
And Ron, are you just checking in with you, sir? How you doing today?
I love when Liz is spicy because that means I just got to sit back and let her go.
Yeah, and the pressure's off your back, right?
Yeah.
Ron, these are the days we were just talking about when when you were far ornerier than you are now, a kinder, gentler Ron. Do you remember when you came in and stomped on a balloon and it like scared us? Do you remember that?
No.
Oh my gosh. He came into the office one day and we were all like just in calls doing all these things. And he comes in and he stomps on a balloon. And I don't know how you all feel about balloons, but I already don't like them. It was so loud and we all turned around. I thought if someone was going to die today, it was going to be Ron because it hurt, it yelled, and we were yelling at you, screaming at you. And I think from then on, I was like, I'm going to let my spiciness fly when Ron does.
That's funny.
Ron pranks. So
what Sara and the audience doesn't know is that we used to have a gong.
Oh my gosh.
A real gong, like a big gong in there. And I used to sneak and hide in like under desks. And when they were all on the phone, I'd gong the gong and everybody would freak out. And
it was horrible.
Awesome. But we were doing it every time we got a new member. So it was a celebratory thing.
That gong now resides at my house. Yeah, it was a hostile work environment. That gong resides in my house. I got to find a spot to put it.
Oh, I wonder who took it. We saw it was gone, and I thought for sure Ron took it. You took it.
I took it.
Yeah.
The first purchase I made that Ron's like, that was the smartest move you ever made.
No,
I'm like,
you actually hid that purchase from me because
initially I hid it from you because I wanted to surprise you with it. I knew you'd get giddy, and you did. And you did. All right, let's get into the content for today. We're talking about rewiring focus, creativity, and profit in the age of AI. You know why I'm particularly excited about this? I had a call today with a guy named Mitch Joel, who to me is one of the most intellectual people I know. And it was becoming a very draconian kind of conversation around where AI is taking us. The conversation ended with never overestimate the power of human laziness. And could AI be this big draw to kind of the median? And is there an opportunity, though, for us listening to the show to elevate to the next level? And I think that's what Sara Connell is going to bring to us today. Sara Connell is a 5 times best-selling author and the founder of Thought Leader Academy, where she helps coaches, experts, and entrepreneurs scale their impact and create 6 to 7-figure businesses by becoming best-selling authors and in-demand TEDx speakers. She's been featured on Oprah, in the New York Times, on Good Morning America, Today, Forbes, Entrepreneur, TEDx. It goes on and on and on. So with no further ado, Sara Connell, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me.
I got to start with a little story because I'm curious about your perspective. When I decided to become an author many moons ago, I met with people and they said, "Are you crazy? You'll never make a living this way." And I asked, "Well, tell me about your journey." And none of them have become an author. I, by happenstance, ran into Tim Ferriss, of all people, and he had just released the 4 Hour Work Week. And I asked him, "Can you make money being an author?" And he's like, is this candid camera? He goes, "You can make a ton of money and have a ton of impact." I'm curious, do you see the same parallel that people have done it, can have a great impact?
Yeah.
And have you seen the naysayers who are people actually never done it in the first place?
I find that story hysterical because I've heard Alex Ramosi tell a similar thing about people with no money love to tell you how to become rich. Like they want to give you financial advice
Yeah.
and they have no money. And so it's the same sort of principle, right? And the truth is, you can do a book and have it do nothing. And you can write a book and have it do everything and be a career maker like it was for Tim Ferriss, or it has been for, we could go on and on with the list of people. And it's really about intentionality and strategy and what your desired outcomes, and are you willing to do something beyond writing the book? Because I think, Mike, you've had very successful, books at this point, but the idea of so many people think I'm going to throw my book up on Amazon and my life's going to change. No, that definitely won't do anything for you. However, if you strategically use a book and are willing to create a strategy around, that's I'm obsessed with book ROI, right? You guys talk about, profitable businesses, and that's everything to me. And it's the same with a book. Don't do one. I believe every author should write the book, whether it's one or more, and that book should be making sales every day and creating opportunities on a regular basis, not just 3 months after the launch or during launch week, but always. And it should be a profit generating asset in your business. And so that's sort of the approach that I'm really, I'd say, a little obsessed with, right? Just because there is so much, understandably, my people have been burned. Like, I did a book and it did nothing, but it's like the people you talk to, they either never wrote one to begin with, or they wrote one that they gave to like their friend and their mom and their cat, and then were sad that no one read it. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. And particularly in this age of ROI, of AI. And so I want to explore that. That's the intention for this meeting with you is how can we leverage AI? How can we use it to advance our career? What are the opportunities there? Do you mind setting the stage for us?
For sure. So it's really interesting, of course, in the publishing world, there's a tremendous amount of controversy. If we just even take the book space, and then we'll expand out to business, because if anyone saw recently, there was a book that's apparently like slipped by in traditional publishing right now. The books are screened for AI. They're not allowed to be AI generated. So all these people that are saying, write a book in an hour on AI, that is only for a book that you want to self-publish, and which is completely fine. But you just have to understand how you could use such a book if you were to do that. I have really strong opinions about, like we'll get into, about from a neuroscience perspective and a future of humanity perspective, about how what we want to delegate to AI and what I won't delegate. I'll speak personally and won't coach people to do. However, there's so much awesome expedition and support and ways to economize a lot of what we do with AI that is really exciting. And so I think it's about when and where, like any good thing, to use it for good, use the force for good. And so we can get into a lot more on that. But in terms of, just to let people know, if they're listening and are thinking about doing a book, you cannot publish a book at a hybrid or a traditional publisher if AI has written your book, and it will be screened and it will be sent back to you for revision or not used at all. And there was some book that supposedly slipped by whatever this software is, and then there's this big whole thing about this author's now been canceled, and it's a big drama. So I don't want that for anyone, right?
Yeah.
But I also think a good book has a soul. And if you're having AI write your entire book, right? You just say, "Hey, write me a book about this, and this is my expertise." It's got no soul, it's got no heartbeat, and it will not make a connection with the reader. And even worse, you as the author will have no connection to it because you didn't write it. And even if it takes, a lot of people think I'll chuck in my course and some podcast interviews and then let AI write the book, but you're not going to, this is my experience of people who've done it. You're not connected. You won't, it won't have the magnetism and the sort of activation that you're hoping in you or the readers. And you probably will end up not super happy with it. And so what I'm a big fan of is writing the book ourselves, but using AI to make a lot of it go faster. So, for example, we can dictate an entire first draft while we're
Mm,
working out or in the car or,
yeah.
like all kinds of things. Whereas you're not starting with, we could take away the blank page, we can have the AI do research, and then, of course, then fact check it, right? It's like you don't just say, AI, what's a study? And like Harvard did a study about whatever, and you just throw it in your book. It's
Yeah.
did you hallucinate? Is this fact checked? You can train the AI to be a Random House senior editor and a New York
Mm.
Times bestselling author and make it fact check from that perspective and then give you the link to the original study, for example, if you're going to quote research. That's what I did in my book, the most recent one, since I haven't written a book when AI was this accessible
Yeah.
yet. And so you can make things go 10 times faster, but not write it.
This is fascinating because I've grown up over the past 10 years watching Mike write books, see the AI, see the challenges, but also have seen the copy infringement issues that are coming all over the place, right? I mean, every single day there's something going on, going on, going on. How do we protect ourselves against that?
I know, because even though you can say, "Oh, I can make my," if you're using Claude or using ChatGPT or whatever, you can make it private, you're
Yeah.
still running the risk if you are dictating into AI that it is out there, that so are you talking more about, people infringing on our intellectual property? Like they're
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. And they're not attributing. There's no it's not being attributed. It's not, and there's always been piracy in the world of, I'm sure in all of our industries, people stealing frameworks and pretending their own or methodologies, and it happens, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's important more than ever for us to trademark things that we're going to
Ah,
put in books. I just filed multiple intent to use trademarks in the last 2 weeks that are in the new book just for this reason. So I think that's an important thing.
is
Mm.
is using AI as a ghostwriter cheating? Is it?
So again, it is if you are going to publish with a hybrid or traditional press, because that is still the AI writing. Yes, you're putting in your intellectual property of a
Yeah.
framework or a course, but it's still like the AI is doing the writing. Um, what I do, and I have to find out because I have this we have
Yeah.
our own publishing company that's hybrid. But this book I'm doing that comes out later this year is with a traditional publisher for a couple reasons. I wanted to partner with them, and they will screen. I did put a couple sections of my book in and say, pretend you're a New York Times book reviewer and rip this to shreds. Like, tell me what I would need to do to make this
Right.
better. So I used it as for some of that feedback. Now, what I have to find out is it going to get flagged when it goes through that screening software? I hope to God not, because I don't have to rewrite those sections. If it does, I will find out and let you all know in the next 2 months.
There's a little shame there because the book could be elevated to a higher level book, but is it too polished? I guess that might be the judgment factor.
Well, I think it's more that right now, and who knows, right? This is absolutely of the frontier
Yeah.
of intellectual property and content creation and creativity right now. I actually think it's great to use AI in that way, right? It's like I got the idea from my son because he would put his teacher's rubric, and not they aren't allowed to use AI. He's a freshman in high school, but he would put the assignment in and then put his draft and say, what grade would this get? And it would say a C.
Right.
And then he'd say, "Oh, what would it need?" He didn't let the AI write what it did, but he'd say, "What would I need to do to make it an A?" And then the AI was really accurate. We've tracked it all year to see if what it was saying would get him the A, got him the A. And I think that's a healthy, good way to use the
Did it
technology.
say you would stroke the teacher's ego, bring gifts unwarranted?
Exactly. Bribes.
Right,
Bringing
bribes,
the
exactly.
Apple
Your
trick
mom
still
would be a
working?
helicopter.
Can you
Like,
imagine blackmail, bribes? No, it was just sort of like you need more quotes and you need a better citation, and this argument isn't fleshed out. It was really good. And then he had to go do the work. It wasn't going to tell him how to
Love
do
it.
it, but it told him what, and that's how I was using it. Like, what would make this get a great review? and it would say, you need this, fix this, which I thought was really helpful. So I do hope
Yeah.
that's not going to be, it won't at our publishing company. We allow our authors to use it that way.
Hmm. Let's transition to our listeners. So we have accountants and bookkeepers listening in. They are looking to focus in a new way, and the challenge that I'm seeing is some of our members, listeners are in a fear state of I'm losing my work here, and so they're actually doubling down on the work they do and trying to block out AI. There's
Right.
another faction. People are saying AI is a new platform that I can step on top of. Um, how do you help people in either position, and where should we, in your opinion, be going?
Right. So I think it's really we have a fear-based, almost arms race type of environment going on around AI right now. That's my experience of it. And emotionally, I think that's how a lot of us feel. There's all those cautionary tales. Don't be a Blockbuster. Don't be a Borders Books. Like
Right.
if you don't bring this on and essentially integrate it into your life and system, you're left behind, you're obsolete, you're not going to have a job. I mean, there's a lot of fear. I'd say
Hmm.
it's a code orange level, a level of fear. I've certainly felt some of that, right? And there's really almost no industry that's feeling untouched because I've talked to people and, on Wall Street and friends in corporate and entrepreneurs and, my bookkeeper and, all the other people that do all of our functions in work. So I think that first of all, I honor everyone's values. If someone's like, I'm taking a stand and I will not use AI, then that's important, right? That's a value, and you might want to just put a line in the sand. I think that for most of us, it's again about how can we use it to promote human flourishing and promote the betterment of the work and the service we give, and our ability to future proof, if there is such a thing, or future protect our roles and businesses. So I think for me, like I said, I have integrated it in different ways, and how can we use it? But what I look at intention behind the task. So there are certain things in bookkeeping, like I love my bookkeeper, is really important to me. Like that's a loving, like, core relationship in my life. Like my tax strategy, people, the financial world of any of us that run a business, I mean, it's a very important relationship. I'm not giving that to a machine, like full, like that's not something I'm going to do. So I think it's looking at where we can focus on what can't the AI replace in our work. Yeah, maybe people can feed their numbers into AI and feel like, but that's not the same as someone who knows your business or has the relationship. But, so looking at where those differentiators of the human contribution that aren't going to be able to be replaced, and sort of highlighting those in both our marketing and our added value. And then also, where can it? Maybe people can take on more bookkeeping clients because they can expedite with AI. And so where can it give us more time or more freedom in a way? But I think that it's going to be on us as professionals to identify what will the AI not be able to do that's still important to the work.
I was going to say, well, I wanted to go into that. You mentioned before you're in a really exciting neuroscience phase of your life. And I know a lot of people are concerned that, going back to AI's writing everything, that they're using it for creative ideas. We're using it for, tell me what to think next. Tell me. And I don't think that's how we should use it. I think of it like Jeff Woods does, as a thought partner. I am the thought leader. Make everything faster, as we already said. So, what are your thoughts on how we use AI with creativity? And then, because I have so
Mm.
many members who want to build courses, who do want to write books, who want to redefine who they are in this market space and stand out, and they're using AI, maybe okay, but what are your thoughts? Like, what do we need to know with our what our brain is helping us to do, and how AI can make that better?
It's such a great question because, and I'm going to give you science because I like to nerd
Yes,
out and I
please.
like to know like real data on
Yeah.
things. So here's the deal. When we go first to AI, when we're doing a creative task or a hard thinking, like a thought, you're creating a new course idea, you're thinking about your book concept or your book methodology or framework. The danger to me in going to AI first is one, that we are very, very quickly going to have an epidemic of sameness. Like you said, you were having a similar conversation today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one is that. Number two is that our skills, remember, just like going to the gym, we cannot send the AI to the gym and think that our body will be healthy. and fit. It just at this stage till we've merged with machines, which is not something I am excited to do at this moment. That's not going to happen, and it's very much the same with our creative and our strategic and our innovative thinking. That is what we consider right brain. Right more than left brain. And so I am not going to AI for my initial right brain tasks. I'm making that's a choice I'm making because those skills will atrophy very quickly. We will get derivative thinking. Everything's going to start, kind of all sounding the same like an echo chamber. And we won't have it is a skill, right? Having to do deep work, and it's annoying. And believe me, who wouldn't be just to get up and say, oh, I'd rather watch a Netflix show and have this thing write my presentation or my book draft or a Substack article. Hell yeah. We'd rather consume rather than create. But the danger is the MIT study. Did you all see that?
No,
MIT. Okay.
I didn't.
So MIT in Boston, right, or outside of Boston, does a study. It was end of 2025. It's pretty recent. And they took 3 groups and they gave each group a assignment of writing an essay, like an SAT kind of college style essay. And one group just had to write it themselves. The second group could use Google and just fact check or get some quotes or something like that. And the third group could use AI if they choose. They could use ChatGPT. So they send the 3 groups to write the essays, and we're not going to be surprised at these results, but it's sobering because the group that had to write the essay, they monitored them all on EEG machines, which measure brain activity. And you can see all the stuff you'd normally expect to see: creativity centers, cognitive thinking, prefrontal cortex. They're seeing everything light up when we do deep work or thinking work and creative work. The second group that could use Google and check things similarly, same centers, same thinking, same brain activity. And remember, when we do brain activity, the brain builds mass around skills. It's like going to the gym with our weights or something. So they could see this happening. The third group all decided to let the AI write the whole thing. They didn't do anything. No shock, right? They're like, good, I'm going to go watch something on TikTok and this thing will write the essays. So not only did absolute dead zone on their brain, of course, because they weren't doing anything. So there's no activity, nothing cognitively is being developed, no creative neural pathways are happening, no synapses firing, because of course they weren't writing it. But all the essays sounded the same. Even though they told the AI, their personal story and their thing, and they all, and 2 of the teachers that they had analyze wrote the word soulless in their commentary.
Ouch.
Not only
can
that, the
see that.
brains in the MRI, they saw they were floating in beer because they just started drinking. Yeah, so
Yikes.
there is this pathway like water, right? We go to the easiest path.
Mm.
Do you feel, prognosticating this a little bit, but do you feel that the majority of the bookkeeping and accounting space, these are professionals, are going to, by default, go the lazy path? And therefore, is there an opportunity there to do the harder but more impactful path?
I do. I mean, I think this is true, honestly, for all
I guess
industries
so.
right
Yeah.
now. I do, because it is, like you said, people will tend toward convenience is the nicer way to say it. Lazy
Yeah, I
is
like
the
that.
right.
Yeah.
We will default to convenience. I feel annoyed to have to get up off my couch to do it's like, why can't I just say it into the air?
You don't
Siri,
have the clapper because Ron
Alexa,
has one.
right?
You can
Clapper.
It's like I'm annoyed. It's like couldn't the dog bring me the? I mean,
Yeah.
it's terrifying in a way, right? Luckily, I haven't delegated these other things, right, because of having seen the research, but it's very tempting. It's
Yeah.
very tempting to just phone it in. Again, consume, not create. It's easier. But again, at what cost? And I think that's
Yeah.
what this conversation is about. At what cost and how quickly do we was it Bob Dylan who said we have a society that will immediately take the convenient path and then later it was something about later live to regret it. I'm botching it really badly. I think he said it, of course, very poetically, but the general idea we get, right, is basically we'll run to the convenience, oh yay, and only later realize with deeper regret much too soon or too much at all. So I think that it's going to be about, again, us being, yes, what's the opportunity? Again, if we identify in the industry of bookkeeping and accounting, what are the components of that work that the computer can never either replace or ever do as well, and really making that's a differentiator. Very quickly, it's going to become the differentiator. Like, we only use AI like this, or we only don't use AI at all for this reason. And suddenly you're the category
Mm,
of one or a few.
I love that.
Yep.
I like
We've been
that.
talking about that a lot with our members of saying, here are the things everyone is doing online everything. This is, from Mike's book, Get Different. Like, what else can you do now that everyone's doing this? What can you do? And it's having conversations.
Yeah.
It's making videos, going to their office, and that's not scalable. And there are things that we'll talk about there, but it is those are the things that stand out already in this industry, that it's not about historical data. It is, how can we integrate and be a part of, in partnership with our clients in a bigger way? Like, they want they want to be handheld a little bit. So I love this.
People really want hand holding right now, and they want
They do.
community. And
Yes,
so
they
if
do.
there are ways to create within even micro, I don't know the size of the different various businesses of everyone listening, obviously there's going to be a range, but community and relationship, to become a trusted advisor, not just someone who's crunching the numbers, to be that person that can create some kind of community. It could be virtual or in person, but if there are opportunities for, your clients to be together, or for community, or even you being the person in your own community. You know how realtors have always been really good at this, right? They're always like, the realtors are always at some school thing, or they're sponsoring something, or
Ice cream
right,
socials or
they're
something.
always
Jessica.
but I
My
love
gal around
looking
here, Jessica's everywhere I go.
Right?
There she is. Yeah.
I love looking at other industries and seeing kind of what are those best practices that no one in my space might be doing. Mike, that's very much about your book, too, about what's the differentiator, what's the different
Yeah.
thing we can do. And I think but community and relationship, because people will increasingly feel the isolation of even more. First, it was just, oh, we're so much online. And now it's going to be, there's fake content all the time now, right? You're watching a video on YouTube and it's not a person, it's AI, which I'm not going to make a moral decision about, but it's one step removed from true connection.
Wow.
How do we invoke true connection? Again, from the bookkeeper or accounting perspective, do you have some tactical suggestions?
I think that, again, finding this is where we get to be a little bit more of like psychologists and therapists. People right now are, as we all talk, even in the beginning, so much dysregulation, fear, uncertainty. You couldn't point to more human triggers than what is happening in the world right now. And so I think if it's not only about delivering the P&L every month, or preparing the tax, forms, or whatever it is that everyone's doing in their roles, but also thinking about the human behind those numbers or those books. And probably everyone listening already does this, because you would be drawn to this community of such heartfelt leaders. But could we really ratchet that up? Human connection comes from someone feeling they are seen, and they
Yeah.
are known, that they matter. And so, is there any way that we can show the people we serve their significance and their value, even above and beyond, again, the direct role? And that, again, suddenly becomes, I'm not sticking with my accountant or my bookkeeper because they can do my books well, but because this is a person that's important to me, and having an emotional connection. And again, not overstepping boundaries and be like, I'm going to come, take care of your dog, or like anything crazy like that. But really, we
You'd
could
be
bring.
surprised, though. You never know.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a good thing. And
Yeah.
I know this sounds silly, and I don't have an answer for anyone listening, but there was, since I'm a girl, like doing girly things sometimes, there was a nail salon, right? There's tons of them in my area in Chicago. You could go a lot of places if you do your nails, you can go places. But there was this one place that, for whatever reason, they just had a couple little touches. Like, they would do a massage at the end of your nails, and they would, I forget what, there were like two other little things, because this is, I moved areas, so it wasn't the place I go recently, but they had a couple of things, and I was the most brand loyal person. I didn't care if I had to wait, if I had to go out of my way, I couldn't come I was only going to that place, because they just had a couple different things that they added, they didn't have to add, that were so wonderful and nurturing and made the experience great. So I think we could get very creative on if there is anything that we can scale, that we can
Yeah.
genuinely give, that's not going to hurt our profitability, but that makes there's something else besides the service itself that makes people want to stay.
How do we scale the caring aspect of it?
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
That's
And
the
it,
opportunity.
it is. And it can be scaled, right? Remembering birthdays if we're not already doing that, or again, fill in the blank. But this could be a fun, those people listening, I don't know how many are solopreneurs or how many might have teams, or in the community, because you all have your members, right?
Yeah.
This is a fun brainstorm. The founders of Airbnb, I heard interviewed once and on Tim Ferriss, actually, right?
Oh,
And
really?
they were talking about they would do exercises where they'd say, okay, what's a 4-star experience of Airbnb? They'd all list what that would be. They said, well, what's a 5-star experience of our company? And then people listen. And then it was like a 10-star. And even though they weren't going to implement every single one of those things, the
Yeah.
exercise in and of itself gave them some good ideas that they could scale. And it worked.
It almost feels like what's old is new again. I wonder if just studying a business from the 50s or
know.
So
something
you're
might
going to
give you
bring
insights.
Mike's
into
going to
the
break
20s.
out his parachute pants.
That wasn't the 50s, but yeah, okay. Sarah, we got to rock and roll.
Wow,
Just
that's
because
great.
we're on time, but I know we just scratched the surface here. Where can our listeners go to learn more about you and engage your services?
Absolutely. So we've got Instagram. If anyone wants to DM me with like just a question or see what we're up to, it's just at my name, which is SaraConnell. And then the book, The Download, if anyone wants to get into the deep neuroscience around the future of thought leadership, creativity, all this, the little nugget I gave you from the MIT study, it's a whole book's worth. It is just up, I think, today on pre-order on Amazon.
Oh,
It's
nice.
called The
Congrats.
Download by Sara Connell. And I don't even know if the cover is showing yet, but you can. It doesn't come out till October. But if you early pre-order, we're going to have all kinds of cool stuff on the brain science and guest experts and all kinds of neat stuff leading up to that.
Awesome. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. Jeez, Louise.
So that was Sarah's AI bot who just presented.
She did. She looks just like her. That was
Yeah,
amazing.
just looks just like her. Sarah will join us in a minute.
Most personal finance systems fail because they ask people to behave in ways that don't match real life. The Money Habit takes a different approach. It works with how people already interact with money, using their bank accounts to create clarity and control without budgets or guilt. We created the Certified Money Habit Mentor designation to give financial professionals a way to guide clients using the system in real life. As a certified money habit mentor, you become the trusted guide. Personal money stress starts affecting business decisions and confidence. Applications are now open for a limited group of certified money habit mentors. Learn more at moneyhabitmentors.com.
All right, so we're going to recap what we learned from Sarah. Ron's got an Insider Access, a tool that we're using at the office. You can use there. I got a GMAP task. I think you invented a trippy question on the spot,
I did.
Liz.
I'm
Okay.
really, it's a good one.
What is it?
Wait, we have to do our takeaways first.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to do trippy question first. Fine, let's do takeaways first. You want to go first there, Spawn?
Yes, I do. So there are three, well, there were a lot of things, but the three big lines that I loved is when she was talking about why, reasons we can use AI, right? She mentioned one of my favorites, which is human flourishing from Joe Pine and the transformation economy, the from to. AI can help with that in many ways. And then it's really the way that she talked about it and future protection, but then the making sure we understand the intention behind the task. And I see this a lot because, people are panicked and my jobs are going away, and the jobs that really go away are the jobs that probably didn't need to happen anyway. So being
Yeah.
very conscious of what the intention behind that task actually is. How does it help people, benefit us, blah, blah, blah. So I love that line. I'll be using that quite a bit. And then the values, where she said, talking about what will AI never do for you? Make a line in the sand. People want to know that you have an opinion about it, right? So
Yeah,
if
I
you
like
say,
that.
I never will, just declare it and go. So I like that. So
So
many
Ron,
things.
what was your takeaways?
All right. I've got a bunch of bumper sticker takeaways here. A couple of I'm going to go in reverse order. Not only about delivering the P&L, right? Your job is more than delivering the P&L. I also wrote down a little chart. I wrote AI, and then I did the T chart. Yes and no. Will do, will not do. But then I
Nice.
had at the bottom, at what cost?
Nice.
Right? Just to be, both of them at what cost? So
mhm.
that was really, really good.
That's
How about
nice,
you,
Ron.
Mike?
Nice.
I made a note to myself to dress better, stop wearing scrubs.
Thank you.
When Sarah and Liz joined, I'm like, oh gosh, they've up-leveled the professionalism. You know what? They kept the professionalism. I've down-leveled the professionalism, so I got to start wearing a tie. And why not bring that back? Because that was a big thing in the past.
And or just your vest.
Or just the vest and nothing else, just a vest. Oh, that sounds disgusting. And a frothy, overflowing chest hair would be just disgusting. Disgusting.
No.
No,
You know,
that's the basement time.
yeah, exactly. Just for me and Ron. I interpreted that when you're this is not her words, but what I learned from Sarah was when you're hiding from humanity, that's the stuff AI can do. If you're just crunching numbers, that's a hide from humanity. Where you're helping humanity is where your differentiator is. And then you saw me maybe off screen. I was writing things down here. She said a good book has a soul. I was like, oh, I love that line. And then I put, and a great book shifts souls. So I was like, oh, so Sarah, if you're listening in, you can steal that one. But that's what I took from you. All right. Now, can we do a trivia question?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah, and audience, don't forget to share with us what you learned as well. And you can find this episode on any podcast you're out there.
Nice, Ron.
Good job, Ron. Gosh, thank goodness Ron's here. Good
Ron
job, Dad.
saves the day. Swoops
really
in.
Does.
Cyberman.
No good deed goes unpunished, guys.
That's right. That's right.
So knowing that you both love sports and you've played many sports, what's the favorite sport that you've never played? So you can't say lacrosse is your favorite sport. Your favorite sport that you've never, like favorite sport to watch, think about, that you've never played.
And Sarah, you can answer this one too.
Yeah, Sarah is still here and she still can listen and ask and answer.
And ask and answer. Well, how about you, Liz? Did you had some time to think about this?
I get to say lacrosse because I've never played it and I do love watching it the most. It's just boys and girls, men and women. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've played all the ones that I like to do, and I always try new things all the time. But what I haven't done that I'm really, really into since 2021 is F1 racing.
Yeah,
I would love to do F1 racing.
That's a good answer. That's a really good one.
Sarah, how about you?
Gosh, all my mind went to is the Winter Olympics, since it was somewhat recently when we were filming this. And but I don't love the cold. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it though. Those men and women that do the long cross country ski, it's like a marathon on skis.
Man.
It looks brutal, but I can't even imagine like what you have to do in your mind. So I'm gonna just say that like as a challenge, like make myself do that.
Yeah, they go uphill on skis.
I know.
Oh, it's amazing.
Running uphill.
Running.
It's unbelievable.
Amazing.
For me, and Ron and I grew up as friends as kids, and we actually probably played some version of this together, but not this sport. It's rugby. I love rugby. Never played it, but we played kill the guy.
Kill the guy with the ball. Yeah.
Whoever has the ball, everyone would tackle that person. Then you throw the ball. It was the poor man's rugby.
Kill the guy with the ball. That was awesome.
Kill the guy. Yeah, kill the guy.
The goal, like rip their ear off too, get the ball and rip their ear off.
No, it wasn't that violent. It was just you tackle the guy and you punch him a few times and then you throw the ball.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, lunchtime in the parking lot.
Good times, guys.
You got Bobby Gaffigan on your team. You're going to win.
He bit people, Liz.
See? I knew somebody was going to either rip an ear or bite.
Bobby was a biter. They wrote a song about him called King Jeremy by Pearl Jam. Mashed his teeth. All right. I have, I want to actually give us your insider access first.
Yeah, this is insider access. This is something that we're doing here in our organization that maybe you can do in yours, or maybe you can think about doing it in yours. One of the things is Profit First Professionals have written 18 book derivatives. If you have a book in you, write it. If you're an accountant or a bookkeeper, loves niche specialization, Profit First Professionals has programs where we can help elevate you from not only the trusted advisor to the authority, but we can help you write a book and be a celebrity.
Yeah, we can.
So exciting.
Nice, Ron.
Nice.
At the risk of being too loquacious, I did a joke about niche or niche, and someone actually got physically injured. I said, I want to resolve this because people don't know if it's niche or niche. It's neither, it's niche. And this person laughed and she hit her head on a concrete column behind her. No hospital or rescue services necessary, but she was stunned.
Lori Peterson, right?
That is awesome.
No. It was just as I got an event, a conference. I'm like, it's niche. And she's like, wow, and bash. I'm like, oh my God. Jokes kill
Tim
people.
Thompson would do, right?
Jokes kill.
Hilarious.
I got the last thing for you, and this is the GMAT math task. The one task, if you do see results, this is the one thing if you notice it will drive a result. Notice next time you cry and check out your sensitivity to crying to movies versus an individual. Movies have to go to an extreme, a death of a child or something like that, where you get that emotional movement. Watch when you're with a friend and she's just sharing a little story and she starts welling up, and watch how you well up. That's called the tactile experience, and that's what you need to do.
Damn.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. That was
Nice.
great, Mike. Sarah, thank you so much. That was awesome as well. Listeners, thank you. Don't forget to review and subscribe to the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast, as well as what else do we want them to do, Liz?
You know what? I would love it if anyone's interested in the real human connection with us here at Profit First Professionals. I would love for them to go to profitfirstprofessionals.com, click on the Become a Profit First Professional button. There you'll see a little video from Mike. I think there's a video with Mike and me. Learn a little bit more about what being a PFP means and how you can elevate and level up your services. So we'd love to see you here. So that's it, everybody. Thanks so much for being here and have a great day.